Here we are, week 2, homework block 1, question 5. All right, so this question asks, so you're given a survey of 26 people. We're asked how much they spent on their child's last birthday gift. The results were roughly bell-shaped with a mean of $32 and a standard deviation of $10, and you're asked to find the margin of error at 95% confidence level. Now, the wording on this, because they use standard deviation here, is you think, oh, they gave me the standard deviation of the population. But if you're careful and you reread it, it says the results were roughly bell-shaped, and the results have a mean of $32, and the results have the standard deviation of $10. So this standard deviation that they gave us is the standard deviation of the sample. So this is our S and not our sigma. So we've been given S and not sigma. So let's write down the things that they gave us. They gave us N equals 26. That's how many people were sampled. And since the results were bell-shaped, we're saying, okay, that's good. The next thing they gave us was 32. So that was our X bar. So our X bar is $32. I'm going to remind myself that we're talking about dollars. So 32. And then the last thing that they gave us was our S, which is $10. So because we have S, remember that we need to be using surfstat because we're going to have to use a T star. So S indicates to us that we need T star. Need T star. Okay, so we need T star. So if we need T star, then we need the degrees of freedom. And remember that the degrees of freedom are equal to n minus 1. So in this case, it's going to be 25 because that's one less, oops, I don't know how I did that, one less than our sample size. The other thing that we need to know is our probability, which is what confidence we're looking for. So let's go back to the question. It's asking for a 95% confidence. So remember that you want to do it as a decimal. So this is 0.95. So let's go here to surfstat. Now, when you start at surfstat, remember it always takes you to this one. And so you need to make sure that you click over to this one, because if you're over here, it's going to give you the wrong one because it's going to add all this little extra bit. See right here, I'm missing that tail. And so that's going to adjust where my T is because I don't have this little bit of probability in here. But if I allow that little bit of probability, that's going to move where my T is. And it's actually going to make my T smaller than it needs to be because it's adjusting for the fact that you've added probability, or that you've added length on to the interval, because it's not actually an interval. Over here, I have my interval, and so I don't have that tail end, and my T is going to be in the right spot. So our degrees of freedom are 25, and our probability is 0.95, and the t-value is what we're looking for, so we're going to make our arrow go this way. So we click on it, and we see our t-value is 2.06. So our t star is 2.06, so 2.06, and now we want to find the margin of error. So remember, the margin of error is the thing that you add and subtract on to either your x bar or your p hat to get the confidence interval. In this case, it's t star times the square root, and since it's s ends up inside of the square root, but because it's inside of the square root, we're going to square it, divided by n. So we need to find this first. We need to square our s, divide by n, and take the square root. If you do it in Google, if you use the Google calculator, you can take the square root first, and then 10 squared is 100, so that one I did in my head. And we're dividing by our sample size, which is 26. We're going to find out what that is. So it's this long thing. You don't want to round out. You could probably round out to 6 and be okay, but don't round out too close in, because if you round out too close in, you're going to get a rounding error. And what was our t? It was 2.06. So we're going to times this by our t star, and we're going to get the answer 4.0399999. So when we round that, our margin of error, remember, is the thing that we add and subtract, which is this piece right here. This is our margin of error, and in this case it was 4.04, which when we put it in here, 4.04, we see that because we rounded out to 2 decimal places, we were good. Now, this homework has closed, so I'm getting a score of 0. But I know some of you have used your late passes, so if you've used your late pass, you still have time. Go ahead and do these problems. If you have a specific one that you want me to do, please message me and let me know, and I will do a video for that.